William Kumwembe with Business Time. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. And coming up in the program today, we look at strides towards making Malawi a beef hub as authorities lament low meat output. And also in the program, construction industry challenged on quality building. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome. In our main story in the program, Malawi, an agrarian economy, faces perennial acute food shortages. The sector's share to the economy has also dwindled in recent years due to policy inconsistencies and low investment. Animal husbandry as a component is not spared. Animal and meat production has been lowering in recent years. Principal Secretary for Irrigation in the Ministry of Agriculture, Geoffrey Mamba, has cited limited private sector participation as a significant challenge impending the growth of the animal industry. Mamba made these remarks during the official opening of the state-of-the-art Aaya Abat located in Mpemba, Blantyre. He then described the state-of-the-art facility as very key to boosting economic activities, at the same time contributing to the attainment of the country's long-term development goals. Benedetta Chawandamia has the whole story.
The establishment of the Aaya Abat represents a significant investment in Malawi's agriculture sector, addressing the urgent need for increased livestock production and improved meat supply chains. As the nation grapples with devastating impacts of climate change-induced adverse weather conditions, which continue to negatively impact on crop production, authorities and private sector alike feel investing more in the animal and meat production industry is a way to go in boosting economic activities as well as addressing food insecurity challenges. Principal Secretary for Irrigation in the Ministry of Agriculture, Engineer Geoffrey Mamba, emphasized the importance of private sector participation in bolstering the animal industry.
As a nation, and particularly when you consider the Ministry of Agriculture within the context of Malawi 2063, we are talking of increasing agricultural productivity and commercialization. And for us, Ministry of Agriculture, we talk about crops, we talk about livestock. And many times we have been talking about crops and crops and crops. But to see that now the livestock sector is booming, and the livestock sector, particularly from the private sector point of view, is booming, I think this is great news, not only to me as an officer, but even the principals that we report to. So I'm very happy that the Mpinganjiras, through Aaya Group, they have established this abattoir, which will not only save them, but it can also save other smallholders and also other commercial farmers that are into livestock. So we are very happy that we have this facility.
Annabel Ntalimanja, Chief Executive Officer of Aaya Group of Companies, assured Malawians of the quality meat products that will be produced at the facility, prioritizing health, quality and standards.
The guarantee that we can give Malawians is that you get state-of-the-art mechanization in our abattoir. You get the utmost top-tier health inspection in our abattoirs. We have qualified vets. We have the Ministry of Animal Health incorporated in our staff. They're here for every slaughter. So they either approve or condemn anything that comes in and out of our abattoir. So when you're getting meat that has been slaughtered at Aaya Abattoir, you're getting the top tier, most healthy animals that you can get in Malawi and probably in the southern region of Africa.
Meanwhile, Thompson Mpinganjira, chairperson of the group, echoed the need for increased livestock production among Malawians.
The biggest challenge I see in this industry is availability of animals. We don't have enough people growing animals in Malawi, absolutely. And this is one area where Malawians should boldly go into growing cattle, goats, sheep, because they are ready buyers. We don't have enough, we cannot get enough animals to supply the market. So I would urge Malawians, please grow cattle, grow goats, grow rare cattle, rare goats, rare sheep, and the other animals, because the market is vast. We cannot satisfy it. In this area alone, that's where we have most of them. We have got 3 abattoirs, but all of us are busy, and still there is a shortage of meat in the market.
The construction of the Aaya Abattoir, which spans 2.1 hectares, began in 2021 and has the capacity to accommodate approximately 150 to 200 live animals at a time. The facility is not only set to enhance meat production, but also aims to create jobs and spur economic growth in Malawi and within the region.
Now, for years, there have been concerns over continued loss of billions of kwacha due to substantial infrastructure projects, a situation experts have rated as retrogressive. Corruption during bidding and tendering processes, lack of capacity among some contractors and consultants, and a quest for cheap labor are among the contributing factors to the poor workmanship in the industry. Now, the National Construction Industry Council has underscored the importance of enhancing contract management skills among local contractors. NCIC Chief Executive Officer is Gerald Konje, and he was saying this during a workshop that it hosted in Blantyre. More in this report.
Konje said the workshop reflects NCIC's commitment to empowering the industry with collective skills to maintain high standards and ensure project success, a goal seen as vital to Malawi's infrastructure and economic growth. He said the workshop would cover the fundamentals of contract management and provide participants with practical tools for managing contracts throughout their life cycles.
We have assembled construction companies and other agencies to basically discuss issues to deal with contract management in the construction industry. This course was specifically designed to address the challenges that are encountered during implementation of construction projects and to ensure that stakeholders have the necessary capacity and knowledge to effectively administer and manage construction projects. As you are aware, NCIC has a mandate to regulate, promote and develop the construction industry in Malawi. So apart from the regulatory role, we are also mandated to make sure the construction industry has the relevant knowledge and capacity to plan as well as execute construction projects. And as a council, we have a particular vision that we adopted since last year, which is a transformed, sustainable, and quality-driven construction industry. Now, for us to be able to deliver that quality, all elements to deal with the delivery of infrastructure projects have to be properly organized as well as understood. So contract management, understanding contracts, and understanding the conditions of contract as well as the specifications are very critical for the industry to deliver quality infrastructure.
One of the workshop facilitators, Engineer Dr. Roque Kaunda, encouraged local contractors to collaborate and form strategic partnerships. He noted that mastering contract management could help local contractors gain the experience needed to strengthen the national economy.
We're encouraging the contractors that this is the time where we need to look and think outside the box. There's a limitation in me wanting to do a job on my own. There's only so much that I can do and I can achieve. But if I bring in 1, 2, 3 more contractors and we come together, there is more that we can do. Malawi is a developing nation, and worldwide people know that. So as a developing nation, it simply means we'll have a lot of development projects. And development projects are not small projects. These are big, massive projects if we want to develop. And that will mean big contracts. But we've got a majority of small contracts. So what this simply means is we'll have an influx of foreign companies coming in, and they'll take advantage of this development agenda and they will benefit. This will come at the expense of Malawians. But if we can group come together, build each other up. That will give us the muscle to compete even at the highest level, to even do the big projects. And by doing that, everything remains here. The money from the contract remains here. Intellectual capacity that is developed on the contract remains here. So we're developing holistically.
Remember, this is Business Time, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The state of cryptocurrency adoption in Malawi is still in its early stages, but awareness is gradually increasing, especially among youngsters and tech-savvy individuals. Recently, the Reserve Bank of Malawi made significant remarks about the potential future of digital currencies. But what do experts foresee in as far as use of cryptocurrencies in Africa in general and in Malawi in particular is concerned? Journalist Jason Malawa engages Yelka Chief Operating Officer Jason Marshall.
So Malawi, for many years, there's been a large informal market. People are buying in large volumes cryptocurrencies in Malawi and Kwacha over WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, Facebook groups. There's a lot of scams, there's a lot of improper behavior. And what we're seeing is a large migration to platforms such as ourselves, which are have more controls, have some standards, have proper anti-money laundering, KYC. And we're seeing people buy crypto, especially stablecoins, to solve practical problems, not to get rich quick, because that's not real, but to do something that they can't do in a cost-efficient way otherwise.
Is this becoming popular in Africa?
It's very popular in Africa. In some countries, the use of stablecoins is very mainstream. It's a part of the financial life. We see countries where as many as 1 in 4 people are using this technology regularly. The adoption is a little slower in some countries, but it's happening. The adoption is growing quickly throughout the continent.
Now, how do you foresee this future in Malawi?
We think in Malawi the adoption will continue to grow as people get educated and as people realize that there are new tools to do the financial services things they've wanted to do for a long time that are maybe very hard to do here or maybe very expensive.
Now, in other business news, National Planning Commission Director General Thomas Muntali has urged authorities and development partners to collectively invest in the country's youths if Malawi 2063 is to be achieved. Muntali was speaking when he delivered a keynote address during the opening of the 2024 National Youth Summit. Kaonga Sabola was there and caught up with officials and has since filed this report.
The 2024 National Youth Summit is currently underway in Lilongwe. Speaking at the start of the summit, National Planning Commission Director General Thomas Muntali urged authorities and development partners to collectively invest in the country's youths if the Malawi 2063 is to be actualized. According to Muntali, the Malawi 2063 is not just a dream, but a vision built upon the foundation of youth empowerment. He observed that the fact that 60% of Malawi's population is under 25 years is more than a statistic, but an opportunity. National Youth Council Board Chairperson Duncan Chiani said the investment Malawi makes in its young people today will determine the country's success tomorrow.
A lot of things that are exciting me. Firstly, this is the first of its kind, having a National Youth Summit where you bring young people from across the country, from all walks of life, and being able to have a conversation with them. So this would be a great time. So that's the first excitement, how the young people are going to be mentored in some programs within the summit. But another exciting factor about this summit is also the launch of the National Youth Council strategic plan. Our previous strategic plan finished about 4 years ago. So we operated for some time without a strategic plan. So launching the strategic plan in 2030, it's a great milestone because this is a document that brings together all policy documents that the youth have to follow, like our National Youth Policy, like the Malawi 2063, and other documents. So bring them together and hearing the youth views on how do they want their council to be run, I think is another exciting thing. But maybe the the climax of my excitement is the fact that as we end this summit, we're going to have our annual General Assembly as the National Youth Council of Malawi. And let me tell you, the last annual General Assembly at NICOM was done in 2016. So this is law. This was supposed to be happening every year. But the fact that there is now the return of the annual General Assembly as a board chair and the entire board of National Youth Council, we are extremely excited that we have achieved these milestones.
Minister of Youth and Sports Uchizim Kandawire said to unlock the potential of the youth, government has invested in a number of initiatives such as agriculture commercialization, National Economic Empowerment Fund, community colleges, and the National Youth Service.
Well, as you are aware that various youth interventions or initiatives in the country, they need resources, they need funding. For a young person to get involved in entrepreneurship, for a young person to get involved in agriculture, they need capital, they need inputs. So it is very, very important that as government, we make sure that we have resources, we have interventions that will make sure that young people have access to financing. So number one is the National Economic Empowerment Fund, NEF, which as government we are very, very committed to make sure that NEF has got adequate resources which they should be able to disperse to young people in form of loans so that other young people can also be able to access these resources. So it's very important that we capacitate the National Economic Empowerment Fund, NEF, so that young people have access to loans which they can use as capital in their various initiatives, economic initiatives.
During the summit, government launched the National Youth Council Strategic Plan and the National Planning Commission's Youth Engagement Strategy. National Planning Commission Director General Thomas Muntali says the two documents are crucial for the realization of Malawi 2063.
No, these two documents are very important because, as we all know, the Malawi 2063 is youth-centric, and we're asking ourselves to say, so how are the youth going to be actively engaged? So the youth engagement strategy and now the National Youth Council Strategic Plan is clearly defining the intervention areas. That is why the theme for this time is a renewed commitment towards youth development as we're moving towards Malawi 2063. The whole idea is, yes, there are a number of initiatives that are happening by government and state actors, but can we scale those up? And how do we scale those up? We have to look at what is it that the youth themselves are saying are the areas. And these areas have been clearly defined in the youth engagement strategy. They've also been defined in the National Youth Council's strategic plan. So if partners and government are going to really make the dent and renew their commitment to big scales, they need to look at these two documents because they will tell them exactly what it is. The youth had to go around National Youth Council of Malawi, the Ministry of Youth, and yes, the National Planning Commission to hear what the youth are saying in terms of their active participation in delivering on the Malawi 2063. That's why you will have noted that we now have these documents being squarely set out by the National, the NICOM, National Council of Malawi. The whole idea is that we need to make sure that there is coordination, so that when we are implementing the youth engagement strategy, as well as the strategic plan, we have the National Council of Malawi being our entry point. And all the partners were urging them to work very closely with the National Council of Malawi because they will be able to guide, advise, which are the areas that the youth strongly feel are key areas for developing the youth in Malawi. So we believe we are at a very opportune moment now, and especially now that the elections are coming next year, we need to renew that commitment to say, you know what, I think we have done something, but we can do more. And as partners, as we're moving into the new round of, because the elections next year also signify that we are halfway the first 10-year implementation plan of the Malawi 2063. So we need to renew that commitment at this stage.
The 3-day summit, which has attracted young people from across the country, is being held under the theme Renewed Commitment to Youth Development towards Malawi 2063.
Well, with that story, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time. It is a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. Thank you for watching, but always remember, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. Stay safe and bye for now.